Let's talk about argan oil, a substance so powerful and pure that it's often referred to as liquid gold. And once you understand what it does for aging skin, that title will make perfect sense. Harvested from the kernels of the argan tree native to Morocco, this oil isn't just another trend in the skincare world. It's a centuries-old beauty secret rooted in ancient wisdom, validated today by modern science. What fascinates me most about argan oil is not just its chemical composition, although yes, it's rich in vitamin E, essential fatty acids, and antioxidants. It's the philosophy it invites us to adopt. One that says aging isn't about resisting time. It's about nourishing the body with what nature already designed to help it thrive. Now, let's break that down a bit. As we age, our skin begins to lose moisture, elasticity, and its ability to recover from environmental stressors like UV radiation and pollution. Collagen production slows. Fine lines begin to form. The glow we once took for granted becomes something we chase in expensive creams. But what if we stop chasing and start supporting? That's where argan oil comes in. Vitamin E, one of argan oil's primary components, is not just a buzzword. It's a lipid-soluble antioxidant that neutralizes free radicals, the unstable molecules that break down our skin's collagen and lead to wrinkles. In other words, it's one of the most natural and effective defense systems we can offer our skin. Combine that with essential fatty acids like linoleic and oleic acid, and you get a powerful mix that not only hydrates, but actually helps restore the skin's barrier. This is repair at the cellular level, not just a surface fix. But let's go deeper than molecules. When you apply argan oil to your skin, especially mature skin, it's more than an act of moisture. It's an act of honoring the journey your skin has taken. Think about it. Every line, every spot, every shift in texture tells a story. Instead of trying to erase that narrative, what if we nourish it? What if we make it resilient, vibrant, and luminous without losing the wisdom it holds? You see, one of the most damaging myths around aging is the belief that it's something to be ashamed of, that the signs of age need to be hidden, scrubbed away, or frozen into submission. But argan oil reminds us that there is power in softness, strength, and subtlety. It's not aggressive. It doesn't demand instant results. It works quietly and steadily, building beauty from the inside out, just like our most meaningful transformations in life. There's also a ritualistic element to argan oil that I think is worth embracing. Applying it isn't a task, it's an opportunity. Take 1 or 2 drops, warm it between your fingers, and press it gently into your face. Feel that moment of connection, not just with your skin, but with yourself. That's not vanity, that's self-respect. That's taking 5 minutes to say, I'm still here, I'm still growing, and I deserve care. In Morocco, women have used argan oil for generations, not just for beauty, but for healing and bonding. It's often produced in cooperatives run by women supporting their families and communities. So when you choose argan oil, you're not just feeding your skin, you're participating in a story of empowerment, sustainability, and heritage. That's a kind of anti-aging no product label can capture. From a medical standpoint, I've seen firsthand how argan oil supports patients with dry, inflamed, or even eczema-prone skin. It doesn't clog pores, making it suitable for oily skin types as well. And because it's naturally anti-inflammatory, it can reduce redness and calm irritation, a common complaint as skin becomes more reactive with age. So the next time you look in the mirror and start to critique, pause. Reach for argan oil. Let it be your reminder that aging is not decay. It's evolution. It's the body refining itself in deeper, more meaningful ways. And just like the argan tree that thrives in harsh climates and still produces one of nature's richest gifts, you too are capable of thriving, glowing, and radiating beauty even through the pressures of time. Let's stop framing anti-aging as a battle. Let's start treating it as a relationship, one where we learn, adapt, and honor our skin with nature's intelligence. Because ultimately, beauty isn't about turning back the clock. It's about turning inward, showing up for yourself, and trusting that the body, when given the right tools, knows exactly what to do. And argan oil, my friends, is one of those tools. Simple, natural, profound. So tonight, when you reach for your skincare, let it be more than routine. Let it be reverence. Let it be an act of love for who you are now and for the person you're still becoming. Let's now turn our attention to another unsung hero in the world of anti-aging skincare, jojoba oil. You might have seen it listed on the back of a bottle. maybe even used it without really knowing what it does. But let me tell you, understanding how jojoba oil interacts with your skin can change the way you approach aging entirely. And not just from a superficial angle, but from a cellular, emotional, and even philosophical perspective. Because when we talk about slowing the signs of aging, what we're really talking about is helping the body return to a state of balance. And that's where jojoba oil becomes extraordinary. Unlike many oils, jojoba isn't technically an oil at all. It's a wax ester. That distinction matters because it mimics the natural sebum our skin produces more closely than any other substance in nature. This means when you apply jojoba oil to your skin, your body recognizes it. It sees it not as something foreign or synthetic, but as a partner, a collaborator. And when your body feels understood at a cellular level, it responds with harmony. This is not about forcing change. This is about encouraging it gently and wisely. As we age, one of the most frustrating skin challenges is the disruption in oil production. For some, the skin becomes drier, flakier, more fragile. For others, it might paradoxically overproduce oil, trying to compensate for imbalances, leading to breakouts even in midlife. Jojoba oil helps regulate this. It doesn't just add moisture. It teaches your skin how to balance its own hydration. That's a powerful shift because what we're doing isn't just treating symptoms. We're restoring function. From a biochemical standpoint, jojoba oil contains long-chain fatty acids and alcohols that strengthen the skin's barrier. It seeps into the skin's deeper layers without clogging pores or leaving a greasy residue. That's why it's often used in formulations for acne-prone and sensitive skin, even though it's also incredibly nourishing for dry, mature skin. And here's where the deeper wisdom lies. Jojoba doesn't discriminate, it adapts to your skin's needs. That kind of versatility is rare, and it's something we can learn from. Think about how we age, not just in appearance, but in mindset. When we're young, our bodies are resilient, yes, but our thinking tends to be rigid. As we grow older, true wisdom comes not from clinging to one way of being, but from adaptability. Jojoba oil mirrors that. It's not aggressive. It doesn't override your body. It listens. It adjusts. It harmonizes. And in doing so, it helps the skin do what it was always meant to do: protect, renew, glow. One of the most profound benefits of jojoba oil is its ability to soothe inflammation. Aging skin is often inflamed, not always visibly, but at a microscopic level. Chronic low-grade inflammation accelerates aging more than almost any other factor. It degrades collagen, weakens the skin barrier, and makes the skin more reactive to the environment. Jojoba calms that fire. It delivers antioxidants like vitamin E and B complex vitamins straight to the areas that need healing. Over time, this not only reduces visible signs of aging, it preserves the structural integrity of the skin itself. And let's not forget its emotional role. Self-care isn't just about choosing the right products. It's about consistency, ritual, intention. When you take a few minutes each night to massage jojoba oil into your skin, you're doing something deeply nourishing, not just for your body, but for your spirit. You're saying, I'm worth this time. I honor what my skin is becoming. That mindset is powerful. That mindset changes everything. You see, beauty is not a battle. It's not something to be won with the next miracle cream or celebrity-endorsed serum. True beauty is the byproduct of alignment when your body, your habits, and your mindset are in sync. Jojoba oil represents that alignment. It reminds us that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is to return to what is simple, natural, and wise. So yes, jojoba oil softens fine lines, reduces flackiness, boosts hydration, and helps maintain elasticity. But its real gift is deeper. It helps your skin remember how to be itself. And in a world constantly telling us to change, to chase, to fix, we need that reminder more than ever. If you take one thing away from this, let it be this: the path to graceful aging isn't paved with resistance. It's paved with nourishment, with trust, with the kind of care that honors your skin's intelligence. Jojoba oil doesn't try to outsmart the skin. It works with it. And that partnership, that quiet wisdom, that's the real secret to ageless beauty. So tonight, when you see your reflection, don't look for flaws. Look for resilience. Look for the story your skin is telling. Then give it the gift of support, not correction, because the goal isn't to look younger, it's to look alive, vibrant, and deeply at peace with who you are becoming. Let's now explore a truth that often goes overlooked in the world of skincare: the idea that your products are only as effective as the way you use them. You can invest in the finest carrier oils, Argan, Jojoba, Rosehip, and yet, without the right application techniques and timing, their potential may never fully unfold. It's not enough to possess the tools. You must also know how to wield them. Let's start with something as deceptively simple as warmth. When you place a few drops of oil into your palms and gently rub your hands together, you're not just warming the oil, you're activating intention. Heat helps the oil spread more evenly and absorb more deeply, yes, but psychologically it also signals a pause. It says, this moment is for care, and your body responds. Your nervous system begins to calm, your breathing slows, and your skin becomes more receptive, not just physically, but energetically. You're not just applying oil, you're offering nourishment. Then comes pressure, the weight of your hands. Too rough, and you trigger inflammation. Too light, and you fail to stimulate circulation. The right balance lies somewhere in between. Using your fingertips, begin at the center of your face, gently sweeping outward and upward. This mimics the natural lymphatic drainage pattern, helping to reduce puffiness and promote detoxification. But here's the deeper insight. Upward strokes subtly resist the pull of gravity, not just externally, but symbolically. They represent a conscious defiance of decay, a reminder that we are not passively aging, we are actively choosing vitality. Now let's talk about timing. The best oils in the world can't compete with poor timing. Applying oil to bone, dry skin, for example, creates a barrier rather than allowing true absorption. The trick is to apply your oil when the skin is slightly damp, after a shower, after cleansing, or even after misting with rose water. That moisture helps the oil carry nutrients deeper into the epidermis, maximizing the benefits and sealing in hydration. And while we're speaking of timing, let's acknowledge another layer: consistency. Using your carrier oil once a week and expecting lasting transformation is like eating a salad once and hoping for long-term health. The skin, much like the soul, thrives on rhythm. Morning and evening rituals aren't just routines, they're messages. Messages that say, you matter, you're well, being matters. The body listens. Over time it responds, not just by glowing, but by trusting you again. Let's now consider blending. Carrier oils don't exist in isolation, they're team players. Argan oil, with its vitamin E and sterols, pairs beautifully with a drop of lavender essential oil for calming inflammation. Jojoba oil, which mimics the skin's own sebum, becomes even more effective when used with a touch of tea tree oil for acne-prone areas. Rosehip, with its retinoic acid, gains depth when combined with frankincense or geranium to boost cellular turnover and tone. Blending is both a science and a meditation. You're customizing care, you're creating synergy. And in doing so, you become not just the recipient of healing, but its architect. That shift from passive consumer to active creator is where the real empowerment lies. Because the act of caring for your skin becomes a metaphor for how you live your life, with presence, with precision, with reverence. Now, let's stretch our minds for a moment. What if your evening oil massage wasn't just skincare, but a form of dialogue with yourself? What if each press of your fingers was a way of saying, I see you. I forgive you. I believe in your ability to renew. That's not vanity. That's restoration at the deepest level. Skin is the boundary between the self and the world. When we soften it, tend to it, we change the way we meet life itself. It's also worth mentioning that how we use oils matters in different seasons, in different chapters of life. In winter, you might layer your oil beneath a heavier cream to prevent transepidermal water loss. In summer, a few drops on their own might be enough. After 40, your skin might drink up oils faster than it did at 25. And that's not a flaw, that's an invitation to adapt. This entire conversation about application, absorption, timing, and technique reminds us of something profoundly philosophical, that beauty, health, and aging gracefully are not about shortcuts or surface tricks. They're about showing up consistently and lovingly in small ways that compound over time. So tonight, when you reach for that bottle of jojoba or argan or rosehip oil, don't rush. Don't just slap it on and move to the next thing. Take your time. Let the moment matter. Let the oil teach you how to slow down, how to feel again. Because in a world that's constantly telling you to move faster, to look younger, to be more, this act of conscious skincare is a quiet rebellion. And in that rebellion lies your freedom. So the next time your fingers glide across your cheekbones, remember you're not just tending to skin. You're tending to your story. Make it one worth touching. Let's shift our focus now to something that has quietly gained recognition in the world of natural skincare, rosehip oil. This oil doesn't enter with fanfare, but rather with humility and depth, much like the people who truly understand the value of aging with grace. Extracted from the seeds of the wild rose bush, particularly a Rosa canina, rosehip oil is an ingredient that speaks directly to the needs of aging skin, not just in appearance, but in integrity, resilience, and repair. What makes rosehip oil so unique, so valuable, is its concentration of essential fatty acids, particularly linoleic and linolenic acids, along with vitamins A and C. These nutrients aren't just buzzwords, they are biochemically active tools that the skin uses to repair, restore, and regenerate. Vitamin A, in the form of natural trans-retinoic acid, promotes cell turnover and improves texture. Vitamin C brightens, supports collagen production, and shields the skin from oxidative stress. Together, these components help rebuild what time, environment, and stress tend to break down. But here's the deeper insight: rosehip oil doesn't just patch up damaged skin. It reminds your skin how to heal. It communicates with it. When applied consistently, rosehip oil triggers the skin's natural regenerative processes, not as an external fix, but as a reawakening of internal wisdom. This is where the psychological layer comes in. As we age, we often develop a mindset of decline. We start to believe the best is behind us. But nature, through rosehip oil, suggests something different. That even after trauma, whether it's sun-damaged scars or emotional wounds, healing is not only possible, but encoded into who we are. There's a reason many people turn to rosehip oil after experiencing aching scars, surgical marks, or even stretch marks. It's because this oil has the capacity to smooth, fade, and lighten those traces over time. But even more significantly, it has the potential to rebuild confidence. Imagine waking up to skin that looks less like a battleground and more like a story of recovery. That does something to your psyche. It shifts the narrative from what I've lost to what I'm reclaiming. And philosophically, that shift is everything. Because aging isn't about loss, it's about refinement. The same way a seasoned artist uses fewer strokes to say more, your skin doesn't need to be flawless to be beautiful. It needs to be nourished, respected, and understood. Rosehip oil helps you do just that, not by overpowering the skin, but by working in harmony with it. That's real wisdom, knowing when to act and knowing when to support. Now, let's talk briefly about texture and experience. Rosehip oil has a lightweight, almost dry finish. It absorbs quickly, leaving the skin soft but not greasy. This makes it an ideal addition to both morning and nighttime routines. You can blend it with other oils, layer it under moisturizer, or use it alone. And each time you press it into your skin, you're creating a moment of connection, a ritual that slows down time and invites mindfulness. There's something powerful about being intentional with your skin. We live in a world that rushes us through aging, through success, through experiences. But skincare, when done thoughtfully, invites us to pause, to notice, to reflect. When you use rosehip oil, you're not just applying a product. You're engaging in a quiet rebellion against the culture of urgency. You're saying, I am still healing. I am still evolving. And I will treat myself with the care I deserve. We should also acknowledge that rosehip oil's benefits go beyond the visible. It protects the skin from environmental aggressors, pollution, UV damage, and free radicals by strengthening the lipid barrier and providing antioxidants. That's not just skincare. That's self-defense. And when you combine protection with renewal, what you get is resilience. And that's what we're really after, isn't it? Not just looking younger, but being more resilient emotionally, physically, spiritually. Rosehip oil won't erase your age, but it will help your skin wear it beautifully. And it will serve as a daily reminder that aging is not a flaw, it's a privilege we get to honor with conscious care. So as you move through your routine, consider this: every drop of rosehip oil holds the energy of regeneration, not just for your skin, but for your mindset, for your belief in your own ability to adapt, to grow, to glow again. If you remember nothing else, remember this: healing is not a one-time event. It's a continuous process. And sometimes the most powerful transformations begin with the smallest gestures. A single drop, a single moment of care, a single choice to nourish rather than neglect. That choice, made consistently, is what changes everything.